What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Another week, another AEW Dynamite, and during the holiday season. So, before we start, I want to wish for both of us, from me to you, to everyone out there, a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy whatever holiday you're celebrating in 2 days. And how are you doing today, my
Pretty good,
friend?
man. In a festive holiday mood. It's
Yeah,
68 degrees outside, I think.
yeah. And like we point out every week, it's only just about a week more for the year 2020. How about that?
Finally. It's been quite a year.
We can't see your shirt though. How about you show everybody what shirt you're wearing? Oh, it's a nice Kenny Omega shirt.
Yeah, my friend got it for me for Christmas.
Cool. It kind of Kenny Omega continue.
Yes.
Kind of
Indeed.
goes along with my shirt in some ways, doesn't it?
I have no idea what you're talking about. You have to explain more about it. I don't know. I don't know who the Rainmaker is. I don't know what that means.
It's just like,
yeah.
Kenny and anyway.
Is that somehow connected to Kenny? I know he was in Japan before. Is that some kind of Japanese wrestling shirt?
It might be, yeah, it just might be, but I don't know. This is another one that, it was a present from myself that I bought from the Black Friday ProWrestlingTees.com store. Anyway, let's get into before we start, what are your thoughts overall on the show? Your mic's not coming out now. There you go. There you go.
I said, oh, okay. It was pretty good, decent. I know we talked about it beforehand. Nothing really jumped out at me. I guess it kind of continued the storylines of what's going on. It just almost, if I'm being honest with you, though, now I think about it, it almost felt like filler before like the next 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
You know
I
what's
don't know.
You know what's weird about it too is that they're hyping up all these matches for like 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, Darby Allin versus Brian Cage. In 2 weeks, Cody versus who is he gonna wrestle? Somebody.
Matt
Sydal. Cody versus. But next week we've got Kenny Omega versus Ray Phoenix for the AEW Championship. It's like, shouldn't the bigger match be in 2 weeks? But it's kind of weird.
Deal. Yeah.
It's not like it's not worth like, I'm not gonna watch this promotion anymore or anything like that. But it's kind of like, huh? Why isn't the championship match in 2 weeks and all the lesser matches next week? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Not to mention like why it didn't really feel like they were hyping up the championship match at all. This round. Yeah. Like I almost forgot it was last week. I'm sorry. I almost forgot it was next week. I was like, oh, is it next week already? I was like, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. But I did like this week's show a lot better than last week, because last week felt more filler to me. At least it felt more like, just for example, Sting, compare what he did this week compared to what he did last week.
That's a good point. And there was a title match actually, which we'll get to on today's card. So,
yeah.
Which we'll also get to in relation to what that actually turned out to be, but yeah.
Yeah. But let's get into it then. So we've got MJF and Chris Jericho versus Top Flight in our opener, and Darius and Chris start off. And at the beginning of the match, the story is that Darius is not intimidated by the veteran, by the GOAT Chris Jericho. And then there's a standoff in the ring. All four of them fight. They do the stand on the middle rope, and Rain punches down on them, where the good guys are standing on the middle rope punching down on the bad guys. And then, they all get mixed up. They dodge the bad guys and get a drop kick. And eventually MJF and Chris Jericho take control over Dante. Darius gets in. He runs wild, does a Spanish fly on MJF, and then a dive onto Chris Jericho. Shotgun drop kick on MJF. Then they start doing the crisscross, and this was really cool when they do that stupid crisscross thing, and then MJF just power bombs him. Jericho gets in there right after the power bomb, gives Dante the lion salt, and then Darius reverses a double backdrop into a double DDT onto MJF and Jericho. Dante wipes out Jericho on the outside, throws him into the ringside table. I thought that was a little more violent than the Top Flight's gimmick,
Yeah,
They're
that
good,
seems.
high flying guys, good guys, and then he just throws Jericho through the ringside table. I was like, okay. But of course, Darius tries a springboard, and Jake Hager, who was on the outside, holds the legs, which ends up leading to MJF getting the Heat Seeker and gets the 3. So I thought this was a good opener. I liked it a lot. What about you?
Yeah, I thought it was a great opener. I like that they're really pushing Top Flight without it seeming like it's overdone.
Yeah.
I don't expect to see them every week, but we've seen them like what? Well, I guess it's only been 2 weeks in a
It's
row, but
just
it feels
like,
like more.
yeah.
Yeah, but I like them. I like that they're putting these guys out there. They're allowing them to shine. They gave them a prime time spot against Jericho and MJF.
And
In a
they're
tag
getting
team.
and they're getting better every week, and we're a part of that. We're seeing their journey from young, like the announcers mentioned that they're young rookies and they're still growing and they're still getting better, and we get to be a part of that and see it every week. So that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. It's cool to see something happen before you. Kind of like really at the beginning of it all, which is great. So I'm glad they're giving them a shot, and I'm glad they're coming through. It was a good match. It was a good match. Definitely a good opener.
Yep. So Hager's on the mic. He says congrats to MJF and Jericho. He said, ever since the inner circle talked about their problems and everybody got on the same page, everybody is doing their job except one guy, Wardlow, and he's pissed off about it. And he says that there's no doubt Wardlow is an asset, but he's also an asshole. And he's already spoken to Tony Khan. So next week we've got Jake Hager versus Wardlow. Ooh.
This came faster than I thought. I'm looking forward to it.
It really
But
did. It's just
yeah,
like it was like a slow burn, and then I thought it was gonna be a little more slower, and then just nope, we got a match against them. Like I thought they were,
yeah,
like for the most part, up until now, it's just them staring at each other, but there hasn't been any real like big
beef.
conflict.
Yeah,
Yeah, like they're just
nothing.
staring at each other. It's not like like Wardlow pissed in his cornflakes or anything like that. It's just we're staring at you. I'm staring at you. I'm staring at you. You know what? Now I hate you. We're gonna have a match. But anyway, that's not a complaint. This should be an awesome match. I look forward to it. I like Hager. I like Wardlow. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll definitely be a reason to tune into the next Dynamite.
Who will you predict on that one?
I'm a bigger Wardlow fan, but
Really?
I don't know. Like, I guess it really depends how. So here's the biggest thing, right?
It's
It really
gonna.
depends.
I think it's gonna either way. Whoever wins, it's gonna be something, some kind of wacky thing where either like MJF tries to
Help Wardlow.
interfere for Wardlow, but then he hits Hager, or something's gonna go down to cause more conflict within the inner circle.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, kind of on that same page. Like, it's really gonna depend how they want this storyline to play out. Who's gonna betray who? How the inner circle is gonna kind of fall in on itself. So it really depends. I guess. I guess who makes the wrong move? You know what I mean? In this match, because it's not gonna end clean. I doubt it. There's no way. Yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
we'll see.
So next up, we've got an Acclaimed rap video, and they're dissing the Bucks. And there's two white guys in the video with them. I don't know what they were. I mean, they were like parodying the Bucks, but only in like certain parts of the video.
It was weird.
I didn't really get it, and I mean, the rapping is better than the free when they're doing it live freestyle. But
Yeah,
okay,
definitely. Yeah,
okay,
but I don't know if this is their whole gimmick. It's gonna get old fast for me.
yeah, I'll talk about more of that during the match when we get to the match. But lineup for tonight, we've got the Young Bucks versus the Acclaimed. We've got Hikaru Shida in action. Kip and Penelope announcement. Oh, that was the best part of the night for me. Kip and Penelope announcement. Jurassic Express versus Colt 6 and 10 of the Dark Order. Evo Uno versus Dustin. And Pac versus the Butcher. But up next, we got Tony interviewing Sting. And Sting comes out and he says he's happy to be back in the jungle. He helped build the original one and he's happy to be back. He talks about the great Dusty Rhodes, talk about how it was Dusty Rhodes' idea to put some color on his face. While he's saying this, he's doing his impression of Dusty Rhodes. That's actually quite good. He's talking about putting Dusty putting color on his face and tights and put him in the ring with Ric Flair. And then he was put in the ring with Ric Flair, and he was main eventing with Ric Flair throughout his whole career. So he owes a lot to Dusty. So now when he sees Cody, the son of Dusty, out there, he wants to be a part of it. And then Tony says, well, what about Darby? And so Sting starts to speak. But while he was talking about that, I was, it's all this like, oh, Cody's so awesome. Cody's so great, blah, blah, blah. Puff and smoke up Cody's ass. So I thought to myself, and you did too, probably, what does Team Taz think about all this? And lo and behold, Team Taz shows up. And Taz goes off. He said
a lot to say.
He's talking about like Shivani saying it's Sting, and Taz says he's sick of that shit. And Darby walks off camera, and Ricky Stark says, "I don't care about Sting. They're sick of him getting in their business." And so now they're about to go to the ring and bite his head off. And the lights blink off and come back on, and Darby's in the ring. And Taz says, yeah, okay, we got Sting with a bat and Darby with the skateboard. We'll take the high road here and live to fight another day. January 6th is when when Darby puts the title on the line against Brian Cage. Brian Cage says, I don't want to wait. And he starts to go to walk to the ring, but the other guys hold him back. And so Team Taz leaves, and the end of the segment is Sting and Darby have a little stare down in the ring. So, lot to unpack here. Your comments? By your laughter, I'm assuming that you thought this was great.
Anything with Team Taz is awesome, and just the way, like you present it, like, I wonder what Team Taz has to say about this. I honestly wonder what Team Taz has to say.
I'm not like, it's not a gimmick. I really think, what does Team Taz think about this? And then they show up and they tell us what they think about everything going on.
The Team Taz segments perfect. Are just the right bite-size amount, of heelish behavior without going completely overboard. Like, it's great. It's so good.
Like sometimes you're watching a match and somebody interferes. It's like, why didn't they interfere like 5 minutes ago or at the beginning or whatever, right? But Team Taz always has the perfect timing where it's just like, okay, this is the part where they should interrupt, and that's exactly when they interrupt. So Team Taz is just beautiful. One of the best parts of Dynamite every week.
Yeah, I know. I seriously agree. I hope they can keep it up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah.
So what do you think the whole Sting and Darby thing is going to end up being?
When it first started playing out, I honestly thought that Sting was going to be some kind of mentor to him, because I mean, if you go way back when, right, it was supposed to be Taz, right? He was trying to be polite to Sting. Oh, I'm sorry. He was trying to be polite to Darby and telling him, hey, I really think you can work on this. I can help you. And Darby blew him off, right? So, of course, Taz has this vendetta against him. As much as he does Cody, he has it against Darby, too. So I really thought that Sting was going to be that mentor. But the way that it's been building up, it's been like, 4 weeks now? Almost? Yeah. I guess about 3 weeks?
4 weeks?
Yeah, it really looks like he's going to be an opponent to Darby now.
You think so?
I don't know.
I really don't know. I really think it's too early to say.
Maybe it's one of those like gatekeepers, like a veteran, like teaching him a lesson. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe.
What do you? So you don't think he's going to be an opponent?
I don't think he's going to be an opponent. But I don't think he's going to be a mentor either, because Darby seems like a lone wolf kind of guy. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
So next up, we've got in a really actually kind of a nice segment, I thought. MJF visits Santana and Ortiz, and he tells Santana, I know you lost someone important to you recently. I lost my grandfather, so from the bottom of my heart, I know how hard it is, and I'm here for you. Santana stands up, says, keep your head up. They shake hands, they hug. Santana walks away. MJF offers a handshake to Ortiz, and they shake hands, and they walk out of the room. And it didn't really appear like MJF was insincere at all in this segment. So it was really nice, really touching, Yeah,
I didn't get that there was any angle to it, yeah.
I thought it was I don't really know why they did this. I don't know if there is a purpose, but I thought it was nice. I thought it was good.
I agree
kind
with
of
you.
bringing in some real life aspect to it all.
I thought it was well done. In fact, yeah, there's nothing really else I can say about it. It really felt real. So I mean, I know it is real what they're talking about, but it didn't seem like there was any angle to it or anything like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
You know,
it's good.
they didn't see, you didn't show MJF with his like fingers crossed behind his back or or anything like that, right? It just felt like, you know, that was MJF being real for a moment, you know. And I
Yeah,
liked it.
it was cool that AEW put that out there because these people aren't real people beyond just whatever persona they put on as wrestlers. So
True.
yeah,
So next up, we've got Colt 5 and 10 versus Jurassic Express, and they note that Jurassic Express are number 3.
I guess.
Jurassic Express has not been on Dynamite for how long now?
That's what I was thinking. It's been like October. I'm
It's
gonna
been
guess.
they haven't been really on since Marco got injured, right? And that was a long time ago now.
Yeah,
So
it was over a month for sure.
they got to do, they either got to drop these rankings or they got to do they got to do better than this, because like the Acclaim number 5, like whatever. Why aren't the people on Dynamite winning match? Like the Best Friends, right? The Best Friends, they won that garbage backlot
Oh, the street
brawl.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah. What rank are they? They should be number 1.
I think FTR's number 1 actually.
Okay, well FTR number 1 makes sense because they just lost the belts, so that would be okay. But definitely Best Friends should be 2 then.
I can find out in just. The
And
Best
that
Friends are number 2. Yeah.
okay, I'll give them that then. Number 1 and number 2 makes sense, but number 3, I don't know, because Jurassic Express hasn't been on for a long time. Anyway,
Yeah.
Colt
I
and
agree with you.
Colt and Marco started out. Colt says he wants. They mentioned that Colt is part with the Dark Order because he wants to be the veteran influence on the young Dark Order members. So Luchasaurus gets there. He beats up 10, and JR says, "You know, we're getting picture in picture, and this week we actually get picture in picture, at least where we are." So they come back. Jungle Boy does some nice split-legged drop kick. So one thing I noticed about this match is that a lot of their offense now is based around throwing Marco all over the place.
Yeah,
And the announcers even mentioned that it's like the Jurassic Express has their own crash test dummy or something. So
yeah, they did.
Anyway, like it didn't seem this match wasn't really all that competitive. They kind of beat the crap out of the Dark Order. They do a powerbomb combo by Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, and they get the 3. It didn't look like Jurassic Express. See, I was gonna call him Lucha Express. Jurassic Express had too much of a hard time in this match, but it was okay. How'd you think?
It was okay. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to really. It's really hard to put into words how much I didn't miss seeing Marco stunt on the TV every week.
Oh, okay.
I did something about him. Like I know we joke about it, but
he's really irritating.
He is. But beyond that, it seems like he's not cut out for the role he plays in this tag team whatsoever.
The
He's
little
thrown
guy.
around. Yeah, he's thrown around. I mean, he's kind of like, I don't know. He would fit more in a heel team, honestly.
That's what I say. He should be really like the guy who's
talks, stirring up shit. Yeah,
who talks so much shit, but he's got the big guys behind him.
Exactly.
To back
that
him
would
up.
make so much more sense. He would be like, "Yeah, fuck you guys," and then fucking Wardlow comes around the corner. It's like, that's what I thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how it should be. He would be so much better in this. So Tony Schiavone gets in the ring and he's about to interview Jurassic Express, but then FTR appears on the big screen and interrupts them. They say they are the tag team of the year, and I don't know if this was on purpose, a mistake, or maybe a little bit of both, but did you catch this? Tully Blanchard calls them Jurassic Park.
So Jurassic Park? Yeah.
I want to say that was just like, you know, anytime somebody says the word Jurassic, the next people just say park automatically, right? Jurassic Park.
I want to say that was a mistake, but it fits so well with him.
It fits so well. It's kind of like an insult too, right?
Yeah, talking them down because he didn't miss a beat. Like he honestly thought he said like you say a joke, you're kind of waiting for the punchline. You just let it sit in a little
But
bit.
no,
Yeah, it's like
he keeps up.
yeah.
And he's an old guy, you know, he's dissing them too. He won't even call them by their correct name. He doesn't even know their name. It makes sense for it to be a diss too, right? But say they're going to take on Jurassic Express on January 6th, and they say it was all business, but now personal. We're on a quest to get the titles back, and no dinosaur is going to get in their way. And Tully says if Marco gets involved, he may have a flashback to the 80s. And for some reason, this is like the biggest insult Marco's ever heard because he's flying off the handle. He's trying to run to the back, and Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus has to hold him back. Like, really?
So
why is he so mad about that?
One, exactly. Two, I never really got. I mean, it's not just Marco, but Marco oversold it for sure. But I never got that angle where they're on some remote, right? They're not literally backstage, and they're calling out, you know, like, "Hey, that's what you're gonna get. That's what we're gonna beat your ass." Blah blah. It's like, "Oh yeah, well I'm gonna come and find you." It's like he doesn't even know where the hell they are. You know,
that's true.
How the hell is he supposed to chase them down? It doesn't make any sense. It's not like they're doing that right backstage. You know.
I mean, they could be, but he doesn't know that either way, right?
Yeah, and like you said, like it's like the worst insult he's ever heard. Like, what? He oversold that way too much. Like, I don't know.
So we've got we've got Alex Marvez, and he's found Kenny Omega and Don Callis. Kenny Omega from your shirt namesake, the AEW champion, and he Callis says, you know, he doesn't understand how Tony Khan lets the wrestlers run amok, and about Pac making his own rules and making his own matches. It's a joke. Kenny Omega doesn't have to listen. So isn't that kind of like the wrestler Kenny Omega deciding and running amok? Anyway.
Yeah, it was a very Jericho-ish angle where Jericho calls out the very same thing.
It's very hypocritical.
Yeah.
So Kenny Omega says, hey, Phoenix, you know, when we wrestled for the tag team titles, you choked. For the AAA title, you choked. The title eliminator, you choked. Except he won his match. He couldn't continue, but he says, what's going to happen when someone who's a little pissed off, he lost to Penta, or Penta had to, anyway, Penta, he wrestled Penta in the title eliminator, and Penta loves him. So what's going to happen when someone who doesn't love you and is a little pissed off wrestles you? Because he already beat Penta's ass. He's worried he's going to hurt Phoenix and put him out for good. And then he says, you know, after I put him out, maybe Impact can take him back. And Callis says, no, but maybe Impact doesn't need him, but maybe we can call Conan. And it's like, AAA can take him back. And it was like, damn, that's like a diss on Impact and AAA all in one. And then
I know.
Kenny says, you get hurt, I get titles. Like, man, they really
oh yeah, they're really rubbing salt on that.
Yeah, really putting down Impact and
AAA and Phoenix, and all in one. It's like,
kind of bad.
Yeah, this is quite the heelish turn for Kenny.
Yeah, very different. You got anything else to add on that one?
No, it was good. Other than the fact, like what you mentioned though, that it was a little odd the way Kenny was talking about what happened with Phoenix and Penta. It's like he didn't really choke; he beat Penta.
Yeah,
he just got hurt.
And,
yeah,
it's really not the same thing. Just like how Pac said he never lost in the tournament. It's like, well, you forfeited, so you lost, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of Pac, he's up next against the Butcher. No, it's not. Yes, it is. So we've got Butcher versus Pac, and Butcher is in his Liu Kang costume week.
Is that what that was? I was trying to figure that out. I thought it was almost a callback to like Gangs in New York.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but you know,
Liu Kang. Oh yeah,
it kind of looked like a Liu Kang costume.
Yeah, I guess so. That could work too.
What sport? What are you talking about? There's somebody in the chat. What sport? What are you talking about? What sport? Liu Kang is from Mortal Kombat. It looks like his outfit in Mortal Kombat. But so Eddie Kingston is on commentary, and I like Eddie Kingston a lot, but This whole thing about him not liking Tony Schiavone is gotta go. Like anytime Schiavone says anything, he's just up and starts talking crazy. Hey, we got a follower. Thanks for following. Sorry, I can't see on my screen who it was. Also, esports? No, like Liu Kang is a character in Mortal Kombat, like the video game. So it's just that Butcher's costume, his ring attire this week, kind of looked like the outfit that Liu Kang wears in the games. That's what I was talking about. So yeah, the whole thing about Eddie and thank you, lover of. I don't know how to pronounce this, so I might butcher it. Who's the butcher? He's a wrestler in the AEW Dynamite show we're talking about here.
All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah. So
go ahead. Yeah.
So at the start of the match, Pac is running around. Butcher can't catch him. They point out that Pac is using his speed to get the Butcher off guard. Blah blah blah. So Blade gets involved, of course, allows Butcher to hit a big old power bomb, but Pac kicks out. That was a damn nice looking power bomb that he did.
He sold it well.
Yeah. Eddie is yelling at this part was weird. So after the power bomb, no worries, man. It's okay. I didn't know what you were talking about either, but don't worry about it. Anyway, Butcher hits that badass power bomb, gets a 2 count, and then he just stops wrestling for some reason. This was weird. He stops wrestling. He grabs Pac. He's just holding Pac, and Eddie starts telling him, "Hit him, Butcher. Get him, Butcher. Hurry up. Beat him, Butcher. Hurry up, Butcher. Come on." And Butcher is just standing there holding Pac, doing absolutely nothing for some reason. This goes on for a good 10 seconds. And then I was confused. And then Lance Archer comes out and he starts talking to Eddie Kingston or something. So meanwhile, Pac recovers. He kicks Eddie Kingston in the face, hits a black arrow, and gets a 3. I don't know.
This match was pretty good. This match was fine up until probably the last 10%, maybe the last, maybe quarter of it. And I was just like you said, doesn't make any sense. Why is the Butcher just picking up Pac and not doing anything? And then on top of that, Archer coming out and just being Archer. I didn't get it. I thought he was going to attack Eddie, but he didn't. And then he stared down Pac, which is weird. I don't know where this is going. Yeah.
But it was just so weird that thing where he just starts, Butcher grabs him and just stops wrestling for no reason.
It was a head scratcher, man. It could have been better. I get that they're trying to build up something with Archer, Pac, and Kingston. It's got to be a 3-way, I'm assuming, at some point. But I don't know, man. I don't know. This is not the way to go about doing that, is what I'm saying. So we'll see.
So Jade has a message for Brandy.
Does she now?
She does.
Oh, I can't wait.
She says, "Congrats on motherhood. But how convenient is that when she shows up, Brandy gets pregnant. And she'll take over as CBO." Okay. I don't know if that's how it works, but whatever. Shaq, she says, Shaq called out Cody and she's calling out Brandy. Find her a worthy opponent.
Did Shaq call out Cody? I don't remember that at all.
I just don't know why Brandy just doesn't go, "Hey, you know what, Jade? You're fired." Who is this Jade Cargill? She comes out and she's like, "I'm gonna be the new CBO and find me a worthy opponent." What is he talking about?
It doesn't make any sense, man.
It doesn't make any sense to me at all either.
I don't get Jade's angle at all. She attacks Brandy and now she's the CBO. It's just completely out of nowhere to me. We'll see where this goes.
So the announcement. Oh, we got another follower. Thank you for following, but I can't see your name on my screen right now. But anyway, thank you for following. So we've got the big wedding announcement. Miro and Kip are out with Penelope. And Miro grabs Tony Schiavone. He starts shaking him. He tells him to smile. So there's going to be a huge wedding on TNT. And Kip says the word huge about 1 billion times. And I have no idea why. And they says they're going to show us the date. And I don't know why they say they're going to show us the date instead of just telling us for some reason. But we figure this out instead. So the best friends music starts playing on the screen instead. And I was like, oh God, here we go. But then Miro and Kip start laughing. And then we go to the back and they show an ambulance taking Trent away. And then Kip says, oh, it's such a shame that the best friends couldn't be here. And the actual wedding date is going to be at Beach Break, Wednesday, February 3rd. Kip and Penelope kiss. What a happy ending. I like this.
This whole segment was, oh man, I don't know, a catastrophe in my opinion, but
I thought it was awesome.
I don't know, like everyone came out worse from this than they went into it, honestly. Obviously the best friends came out worse because Trent got his ass beat, but I'm not rooting for Miro. I don't like Kip and Penelope now. I don't know. It just smacked of heelish behavior and not in the good way. I don't know. I just want this whole like feud and rivalry to end, man. I'm tired of this. I don't know where this wedding's gonna go. We'll see. Hopefully they have a match and it's over after this, because I'm tired of seeing them fight each other like this. This is gone on for way too long. It's just kept dragging, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I gotta say, Trent got what he deserved.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, not to be put in the hospital, but let's put this into perspective. Kip and Penelope are gonna make their wedding announcement, and then last week the best friends pretty much go on TV and say, "Hey, we're gonna come and fuck up your wedding announcement." So what did Miro do? Miro and Kip do? Proactively go and beat the crap out of this guy. Isn't that what you would do? Let's say you were getting married, and some two guys who you don't like said, "Hey, we're gonna come and we're gonna ruin your wedding announcement."
I mean, in the context you're speaking of, that makes sense. But the very fact of the matter is, this all started because of a broken arcade machine.
Yeah. No, I'm just talking about in just like this little thing of Trent and Chuck saying, because really Orange Cassidy doesn't give a shit either way.
True. Yeah.
So,
it's a tit for tat. I mean, the reason that they said they were going to do that was because Miro fucked up Orange's title run, right? Or his diamond run, right? His diamond ring run, right? So,
yeah.
Anyways, the less said about this whole rivalry feud angle, the better. I just want it over with. Yeah.
Fair enough. We got Evo Uno versus Dustin, and there's a cheap shot by Uno at the bell. They mentioned why Dustin was so pissed off about Seven is because he was on TNT years ago as a Seven character, and he was like going to the ring on cables and dressing up in white face paint, and he actually said in the ring, "Screw it," blah blah blah. So Uno is down. Says this. Dustin gets a running bulldog for the win. Uno is down. He says, "This is the fire that I've brought out of you and brought out in you, Dustin." Dustin kicks Uno. Stu comes in and beats Dustin and Lee Johnson. Stu hits a nightfall on Dustin. QT comes out, gets his ass beat up. Then Lee Johnson hits a double drop kick off the top on the Dark Order. So looks like this isn't gonna end with Dustin. This isn't, or at least this isn't over.
Yeah, I see that. I like how the Dark Order can continue to, fade in and out of relevance, but they always have something going on. I liked Uno in this match. I thought he did really well. I thought he kept up with Dustin pretty on par, and I like the fact that he's kind of a sympathetic character in the Dark Order.
You think so?
He kind of tried to stop. Well, he did. He did try to stop Stu from like going after Dustin. He did try to, not make it worse than it was. He's really trying to get Dustin in there. And, he kind of stood in the way of Grayson really taking more of a beating to Dustin as it went on. I think Uno's, for lack of a better term, almost a voice of reason in the Dark Order. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I don't think he's going to leave the Dark Order necessarily, but I like that he's not just some fanatic, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Okay. So next up, we've got a Shawn Spears interview.
Your favorite.
So let me preface this by saying I'm not the biggest Shawn Spears fan in the world, but this segment was actually very good. So we start off, Shawn Spears asked Tony, hey, why'd you leave the business for 15 years? Tony says he was burnt out. Shawn Spears says, well, you're the guy that I want to talk to because he left New York, and he's talking about he left New York because of the glass ceiling, and now here in AEW he's encountering the same glass ceiling. He doesn't need this. He throws the glove away. He sees the same path. He's more talented. He's more better looking. He's better on the mic. He's blah 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 than everybody. And so Tony makes a nice observation that you think maybe the problem is you? I mean, that's the common denominator here. And so Shawn Spears says, yeah, I thought about it. But no, the problem isn't me. The problem is people like you, and you're a real piece of shit for saying that. And he'll come back if he feels like it. So you know what this reminded me of?
The Mike Tyson interview?
Yes! Exactly. The Mike Tyson interview is like, you're a piece of shit.
Everybody thinks you're a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit.
Yeah. This exactly had that toward the end, but that was great. I actually like this. This was actually good. This is one of the better things Shawn Spears has done in AEW, so I'm not going to knock on this. Maybe it'll go somewhere.
I was 50-50 on Shawn Spears. I didn't really particularly like him or dislike him. I don't know. I wasn't that much a fan of him, I guess. So maybe I was leaning more towards the dislike side, but you're right. This was a good segment for him. It actually came off as someone who's being honest, and he feels really raw about these things, about how he's been used, how he's been basically abused, and he's not really going anywhere. He took this shot with his company, hoping something would happen, and he's been kind of made as a joke, right? So this came off as pretty real. If this is the angle they go with, I'd much rather see this Shawn Spears.
This was okay, and instead of the stupid glove wearing and putting a lead pipe in his glove to punch people and all this other stupid crap.
It was bordering on slapstick, and not in the good way. Yeah.
So. And it's been a long enough time, so it's like, okay, fine. Shawn Spears is like, show us what you got. Whatever. He'll probably do it on Dark, though.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Anyway, we've got AEW champion Hikaru Shida and Dasha, and Dasha starts asking her about how Abaddon has been terrorizing her, and of course, Abaddon strikes at this moment, and then some dude breaks it up, and it turns out the dude is Michael Nakazawa. Okay.
Yeah.
So immediately, Shida's song plays, and she's got to go to the ring. So she's got a match against, is her name Alex Gracia?
Alex Gracia. Yeah.
Gracia? Okay. I didn't get the first name.
Yeah, it wasn't Garcia, it's Gracia.
Yeah. Gracia. Yeah, that's what I said. So it's pretty much Shida is just better than this girl because she's a champion. She's brushing off offense. She hits a running elbow on the outside. Gracia tries a sneaky small package for 2. She hits a running knee in the corner. Shida kicks out at 1. Shida shrugs off some more elbows. She hits a delayed vertical suplex. She does a drive-by knee strike on the outside. And then we see that Abaddon is now in the crowd. And then Shida's like, forget this. She attacks. She pulls Abaddon over the barricade, starts beating her up. Then she gets back in the ring, she gets rolled up for 2, but then Shida just hits the Falcon Arrow and beats Alex Gracia. So this was a badass performance up until now. But then she grabs a kendo stick, she goes outside, she starts poking at Abaddon, and then Abaddon is like, there's the horror movie, I'm alive. She goes off, they start fighting, they start brawling, and then Abaddon gives Shida the good old vampire bite on the neck. And then the refs break it up, and Shida is screaming. She's bleeding from the neck. They show Abaddon, who's got blood all over her mouth. Kind of cool, but kind of creepy.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. I liked Shida in this match. It looked like she had a real fire in her. She
Yeah,
was really pissed off from the very beginning.
it made her look like a champion.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what they need more. I think that's what they really need more than anything in the women's division. It's some emotion, I guess. You know, it's just lacking so much. But it was great to see Shida come out with, firing on all cylinders with that blood in her eyes, kind of.
Yeah.
We'll see where this goes with Abaddon. I knew she was gonna bite her neck. It just seems so obvious. It'd be weird if Shida doesn't come out with something taped on her neck next week. We'll see.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
Or it should like start growing. She'll just have like a bandage next week, and then next week there'll be like some little veins. And it'll start getting darker. And it starts spreading. And then she'll start looking like Abaddon or something. Like one week she'll have like a contact with like red eyes or something. It's like,
oh yeah.
It's like, what's happening to Hikaru Shida?
No one knows what's going on.
Oh, this part I got a phone call, so I know they were running down the card for next week. Do you have everything?
Okay, so for the first week, or next week's night 1, we have Omega versus Phoenix. John Moxley returns. Interesting. They didn't really say what's going to happen with that, or if he's having a match or not. They just said he's going to be back next week. Shida's fighting Abaddon for the belt, and the Hager versus Wardlow matchup. And the week after that, January 6th, night 2, we have Darby Allin versus Brian Cage for the TNT title. And we have Cody Rhodes versus Matt Sydal on the Go Big match. Go Big Show match. I don't know. It's a tie-in with that stupid show that Cody's.
Hey.
Yeah.
It might actually be the best show of all time. Are you going to watch it?
That's a big NO.
How dare you?
Are you going to watch it?
No.
Oh,
I'm not. I don't like that sort of thing in the first place. I'm not gonna watch it anyway. In our main event, we've got the Young Bucks. The AEW Tag Team Championship is on the line against the Acclaimed, and the Acclaimed wrapped to the ring. And I don't know if so. This is what I wanted to say. I don't know if like the gimmick is that they're bad rappers, but they're not good at rapping. They're very like cliche rappers where it's like how someone would do at the 8th grade talent show, at school. Yeah. Isn't that what it seems like? He doesn't like.
You're not good.
I mean, go listen to one of this Acclaim rap, and then go listen to like a Jay-Z or Eminem song, and it's like the difference is quite glaring.
Oh, yeah. It's not even night and day.
And maybe it's not fair to compare them with professional rappers, but I don't know, they're just not good. So I don't know if it's part of the gimmick that they're supposed to be rappers and think they're good, but they're not. Like the Hybrid 2, it's kind of like their gimmick, right? It's like they're B-boys, but they're kind of like dorks.
Yeah.
So
that's a good question. It really depends how they view themselves, right? Because if we see it as this and they don't, then something's wrong. I'm gonna have to assume that they know they're not very good rappers because they let Kazarian take them to task last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they thought that they were any good, they probably wouldn't have let that happen. Do you know what I mean? Like it would just make them look really bad to allow Kazarian to come up with a rap that was better than them, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. So there's not really a lot to say about this match. The Acclaim actually didn't get a lot of offense in, except for during the picture-in-picture. Most of it was the Young Bucks doing their usual offense, their usual double team moves, their counters. It was, in a way, this was almost like a Young Bucks showcase match, to be honest. Right?
Yeah, it was like a Young Bucks highlight reel.
Yeah. So in the end, Matt had the sharpshooter on. Caster punches Matt, but Matt is so tough he doesn't even break the hold. He's like, "Come on!" Nick pulls Caster outside. He puts him in a sharpshooter on the outside. But finally, Bowens gets the ropes, and they mentioned that the sharpshooter was made famous by Riki Choshu, and Excalibur says he's from Japan, and in the line of the night, JR just says Arkansas. You didn't get that?
No.
Like Ricky Choshu's from Arkansas. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Bucks hit the Doomsday Device. That gets a 2. They do a the Acclaim do a superplex splash onto Nick. Matt makes a save. They do a super kick party, but eventually Nick accidentally kicks referee Nick Knox. This part was stupid. This part really pissed me off, actually. So Caster hits a low blow on Nick, and then they hit Nick with the boombox. And they go for the pin, but Rick Knox is out. But then Paul Turner comes out to count the 3. This is fucking stupid. Because if a ref can come run down and count the 3, why can't the ref come down and disqualify the Acclaimed for the low blow and the boombox shot? This makes no sense at all.
I'm with you. I didn't know if that was something, because I don't have the background and the history with wrestling like you do. And I thought that was a little ridiculous. So I was like, wait a minute, why is he running out to count an actual pinfall? He had to have seen that was an illegal move, right?
Yeah. So I mean, this happens in WWE too all the time, and I think it's stupid there too. Like, why don't you come down to the ring and disqualify the Acclaimed? And why would you go down and reward them for cheating?
Yeah. So basically,
you're a referee. It's like a referee. It's like it's
with that logic.
By definition, you're a judge to make judgment calls, right?
With that blueprint, all you would have to do as a heel, right, or even a good guy, is knock out the current ref, right? Pull some stupid ass shit move to knock out your opponent, and then hope that the other referee comes out in time to pin or to count the pin, right? Because they're laying the blueprint down. It's like, well, we don't like this ref, so we'll knock him out, and then I can do whatever stupid crap I want to my opponent, and then the second ref will just count it out like it was normal. So, yeah, I didn't like that at all. That was dumb.
Continuing with the action, Matt power bombs him through Bowens through a table, and then they get to do the BT trigger on Max Caster. They get a 3. That's pretty much the end of AEW Dynamite. So yeah, this was an okay match. It was pretty much just the Young Bucks for the most part. I don't think the Acclaimed is terrible. I think they're okay in the ring but they just haven't been impressive. And like I always compare them to Top Flight. Top Flight, every time we've seen them, they've been impressive. They've been awesome. They've been great. The Acclaimed, they need some more work.
Top Flight's been getting better every time we've seen them, I think.
The Acclaimed are like really young too, right?
They're young too. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. And they're pretty good. They're good in the ring. They're just not like all elite, I guess. They're not impressive to where it's like, okay, I want to watch these guys.
It's weird because AEW has made such a big deal about the tag division, right?
Yeah.
And I get that. They have some amazing tag teams, but they're not really showcased in any regard outside the pay-per-views, right? How many times have we seen, it's far and few between, like Lucha Brothers versus like Young Bucks, right? Santana and Ortiz versus FTR or something like that, right? Rare, right? These are the matches they should be making, honestly. So we'll see.
But what did you think of this match overall, though? Like just the main event in a nutshell on its own.
It was fine. It was good enough. I guess Acclaim stock actually went up for me somewhat. Oh, yeah? They proved that they could hang with the Young Bucks, even though they didn't really get much going off. There was no botches or anything. They are a good team. It's just I don't know that they're ready to be like contendership material yet. And that might have been the fact that they didn't really get much spots themselves. But I give them credit. It's hard to be able to keep up with a team as good as the Young Bucks and not look stupid. You know what I mean? So I give them credit. They did a good job. And it was a fine match, even though it was, mostly the Young Bucks highlight reel.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to add about the show overall, or anything else going on in the world?
No, that's about it, man. I gotta say that we'll see where AEW goes in the next year. I'm reading rumors, and I'm sure you have too, that they've trademarked some AEW names.
Elevation
AEW,
or something?
AEW Elevation, yeah. So maybe they'll finally have that next show that's going to be on TNT at some time.
Yeah.
Because they really, really do need somewhere else to put these guys,
Yeah.
some of these people, some of these matches.
I have mixed feelings about that. I think I've said this before. I think it's good that they have another show because they need more time to get everybody on TV. But at the same time, it's like I don't need to be watching another wrestling show.
Yeah, both good points. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see because a lot of things right now are brought about in dark, and they only mention it in passing. Like the Acclaimed got their record because of dark. We never knew about them until they are already like 6-0, 7-0. Yeah. So
until they pretty much showed up, like who the hell are these guys?
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. We'll see where it goes, man. We'll see where it goes.
But yeah, the upcoming weeks look to be interesting, to say the least. I know that Phoenix and Kenny Omega match is going to be awesome.
A banger. That'll be good.
Regardless of the weird storyline. I look forward. I
hope they give them at least 20 minutes.
My Christmas wish, although it'll be after Christmas, is for a spike pile driver on Marco. A shatter machine too. Or what are they calling it now? The Goodnight Express, right?
The Goodnight Express, yeah.
So anything. I'm very or even Tully to have a flashback to the 80s.
It might come true as a New Year's present.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Well, that wraps it up from here. Like I said before, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. Hope you have a great one and a safe one. And we'll catch you later next week.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, guys. Peace out.
Okay.
Happy holidays.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.